Hi, I'm Carola, and on Instagram I'm @FromCarola. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pens. If you're not super familiar with them, then this is a great video for you. I'll talk about the uses, how to hold them, what paper to use, and also I'll do a quick swatch in the end using the different colors just to show you what they look like on paper. If you'd like to see some hand lettering with these Fudenosuke brush pens, I'll link the video up top so you can check that out as well. Tombow Fudenosuke are traditional Japanese brush pens. Fude just means brush pen in Japanese. And you can get them separately or in a set. And if you get the set, then you get one brush pen with a soft tip and one with a hard tip. And the hard tip brush pen, which is the bluer pen, is, in my opinion, the perfect pen to start with if you're beginner at hand lettering. And if you're a little bit more experienced or you want thicker strokes in your hand lettering, then the soft tip brush pen is perfect for that. And what I use the Fudenosuke brush pens for, aside for obviously hand lettering as well, is to draw with and sketch. And because they give you that flexibility of stroke thickness in your writing or drawing, they're great for having those different line widths. The Tombow dual brush pen is also perfect for hand lettering, but just be aware that because the tip is so thick that your lines will come out thick as well. So I generally recommend using a dual brush pen for hand lettering if you're lettering a big piece, but otherwise I would use the Fudenosuke for smaller pieces of hand lettering or drawing. Just to give you an example of what I've used the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pens for, in my Archer and Olive sketchbook, I used the neon set to create a lettering piece, and I used a gray Fudenosuke just to give a bit of shadow and let the letters stand out. I also use Fudenosuke brush pens for headers in my planners and when I take courses or classes that I'm interested in, such as the Floral Drawing Basics course. I just hand letter the heading so it stands out and it gives it some interest. The Fudenosuke brush pens are also perfect for bullet journaling. So if you're creating a bullet journal and you just want to add some interest to your headers or your logs, then the Fudenosuke brush pen is perfect for that. I also use Fudenosuke in my plotter when I create artwork, just watercolor painting, and then I just practice my hand lettering here. For the swatches later in this video, as well as just general practicing with brush pens, I recommend using a Rhodia notebook because they're so easy to find and they're not super expensive. You can get them in line, dot grid, blank, etc. And I highly recommend them because they're great with brush pens. So I'll do a demo of the brush pens that I have here in my Rhodia lined notebook just to show you a comparison between the different types of Tombow brush pens. This one is the Tombow dual brush pen, which, as I mentioned earlier in this video, gives you those thick strokes when you're pushing down. And as you can see, how I'm holding the brush pen is very gently, and it allows me to push down firmly to get those thick downstrokes. In comparison to the hard tip Fudenosuke brush pen, which is the one I'm currently using, you can see the lines are not as thick as the ones that you would get from a dual brush pen, but it is thicker, so you can still see the contrast between a downstroke and an upstroke. And I find the hard tip brush pen still pretty flexible, so you don't have to push down too hard. And I would kind of play around with the different size of stroke that you would get if you push down. And just to show that you can also doodle with these brush pens, they're perfect for getting shadows around your doodles, and they're flexible enough that you can sketch or shade with them as well. And now we're comparing the Fudenosuke soft tip brush pen, which is the second brush pen you get in a set. And right away you can see that the lines are slightly thicker than what I got from the hard tip brush pen. And when you're lettering with the soft tip brush pen, just remember that it's pretty flexible. You don't have to push down too hard, but also, the tip moves around quite a bit. So a little bit of control is needed to guide that pen. Just remember to go slow when you're lettering with these brush pens. If you want some color with your hand lettering, then these brush pens, they're also Fudenosuke. They come in a rainbow set and they are hard tip. So they'll be similar to the hard tip black Fudenosuke brush pen. And they're also great for hand lettering or doodling with. Same sort of consistency in the stroke width that you would get from a hard tip. Tombow has a neon set of the Fudenosuke brush pens as well, and they are quite bright and pastel-y and super fun. And I'm just doing a comparison swatch between the red Fudenosuke from the rainbow set. These are also hard tip, and so you'll find that they're easy to letter and to doodle with. And as I showed in my example of how I lettered with it in my sketchbook, you can add a little bit of black or gray around the letters just to make them stand out a little bit more. Now I'll just swatch the rest of the rainbow set as well as the neon Fudenosuke brush pens just to give you an idea of what each of the colors looks like in case you're thinking of trying them out. And that's it for the swatches of the Fudenosuke brush pens and the dual brush pen in a Rhodia notebook. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you want to see some hand lettering with Fudenosuke brush pens, I'll link that video, as well as a video talking about dual brush pens and comparing against other brush pens. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Carola, and on Instagram, I'm @FromCarola. Bye!